All right, right now it's What to Watch For, driven by Raleigh Motors, and our good friend Jayson Stark joins us now. Jayson, how you doing? Michael and Don here.
I'm great, man. How are you guys?
Good. Let me ask you quick. I know you spend a lot of time at Citizens Bank. Do you think that Citi Field is too big?
I do. I love everything about Citi Field except the dimensions. I just don't think in this day and age that's how you build a ballpark. And, Don, I listened to your argument about how guys can't let it get into their heads. And that sounds good in theory till you put a swing on a baseball. And you know, if you play enough baseball, you know what a home run feels like when it comes off the bat. And it's just not. It doesn't happen in that park. And it takes its toll. I've seen guys take batting practice in that park and the way they shake their heads. And then I've seen the Mets come to Philadelphia and other hitters' parks where the ball carries and how much more fun they have. It's easy to say, easy for us to say, it's no big deal. But it's not easy when you're actually swinging a bat.
No, I get that. I understand home runs are fun. Home runs are what get the back pages. Home runs are what stories are written about. But in a 1-0 game last night, I didn't need a home run as a Met fan. I need a broken bat single over first that would have tied a game. That's what frustrates me is there's other ways to help teams win. Look what's happening at AT&T Park. I mean, that's very similar to Citi Field. The ball sometimes doesn't carry there at all. They've got that huge wall in right field. I've seen Pablo Sandoval and Buster Posey explode baseballs to get caught not even close to the warning track, and that team's won 2 championships in 3 years.
Oh, look, you're right. It's not mandatory to have a .229 team batting average, which this team has, and certainly in any given game, last night being a great example, there's a lot more going on than just the dimensions of the park. But if you think about this big picture, what's baseball trying to do right now? And that is sell itself to a generation that maybe doesn't have baseball embedded into its soul the way we did growing up. And is back-to-back shutouts by the home team in the Subway Series a way to do that?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, believe me, I've tried for years. I will not change Don's mind. He likes the fact that it's big.
And also, I mean, and Jayson, I had fun last night. I mean, I didn't have fun because my team lost, but, 2 kids pitching. The Mets were struck out 14 times. Betances was electric with his 6th consecutive strikeout. I don't need 14-13 to enjoy a baseball game either.
I don't either. I didn't say I did. Hey, we had 2 pitchers get their first career hit in the same game off each other. You guys know that hadn't happened since 1963, right?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Denny McLain, Fritz Ackley.
And I think in their first at bat, by the way, it goes back even further. Now, I don't know. You compiled in your column today, which is really good column, 10 must-see starting pitchers. If you included relievers, maybe you slide in Betances after last night. But you know what saddens me? I look at your column and your number one pitcher that you must-see starter in baseball, you're not going to see him for the rest of the year, Jose Fernandez. That's really sad.
Yeah, it is sad. I mean, he was, in some ways, the inspiration for the column because I love watching this guy pitch. I said on Baseball Tonight that a couple weeks ago I was obsessed with watching him. And he was going to be unanimous when I was doing this poll of scouts and executives. And even though he got hurt, he got 17 votes out of 19 people. So, I mean, we've kicked this around, all these injuries and all these Tommy Johns, and I mean, just part of the landscape now. But it did kind of make me feel better that there were so many other compelling choices, even with him down for the year. I was surprised, to be honest with you, that Masahiro Tanaka didn't finish higher. I mean, he was top 5. But for me, after I get past Fernandez, he's my number 1. I love watching him.
And there's a quote here from one scout. He epitomizes must-watch. We're talking about Tanaka. It's amazing the way he's lived up to the hype. He has the weight of a whole country on his shoulders as much as, if not more than, Matsuzaka and Darvish. And what the scout didn't say is right now with all the injuries, Jayson, he's got the weight of an entire franchise on his shoulders. There's no doubt about that. And you know what's fun about him is it's just bringing out the best in him, all of it. Buster last night on our Baseball Tonight show showed this video of that Red Sox game where he gave up the back-to-back home runs. And
how he flinched because obviously he'd never given up 2 balls hit that hard back-to-back in his life, and how he just dialed it up after that. That's what this guy is. That the competitive fire in him is amazing, and it just oozes out of him. And then, how bad is Splitter? This is an incredible pitch. He's now thrown it 25% of the time, right? So the hitters just about know it's coming. And yet they've swung and missed at that pitch 51% of the time. Wow. So more than half the times they swing, they hit air. Unbelievable.
Cliff Lee tied for 8th on your list. Where does he finish the season?
Well, I don't think the Phillies are headed for contention. The question is whether they can play themselves out of contention fast enough for the Phillies to decide that it's time to trade him. He got so many positive reviews that it's very clear to me that they will have no trouble finding suitors. They had some last year, despite the fact that the contract is so backloaded. There's a $12.5 million buyout clause at the back end of that contract. But if the Phillies are more flexible about eating money than they were last year this time, they'll have no difficulty at all trading him.
Now, you got a new book out. It's called Wild Pitches, Rumblings, Grumblings, and Reflections on the Game I Love, and you're actually going to be at Barnes & Noble in Somerville at the Somerville Shopping Center in Bridgewater, New Jersey. That's this Sunday at 2 p.m. What's the book about, Jason?
Michael, this is kind of my greatest hits. It's a collection of my favorite columns since I've been at ESPN, and there's lots of fun stuff in it, lots of fun October stuff, which obviously means lots of great Yankees. The Derek Jeter and his Mr. November Homer are in there. Just that World Series in general was tremendous. There's a look at Mariano Rivera and his place in history. Recommended reading there. And there's a piece that I did a couple years ago that was really fun to do about what separates great players and winners from everybody else. And, I mean, the poster boy in that piece was Derek Jeter. And just how I think what separates the really great players from everybody else is the ability to play with focus and concentration and energy every inning of every game throughout the marathon. And that is Derek Jeter, right?
Absolutely. I can't wait to read it. If you want to meet Jason, he's going to discuss the book and sign it. Wild Pitches, Rumblings, Grumblings, and Reflections on the Game I Love this Sunday at 2 p.m. Barnes & Noble, Somerville, Somerset Shopping Center in Bridgewater, New Jersey. Space is limited, so get there early, call them up, and make a reservation. Good luck with the book. You deserve only the best.
Thank you very much, Michael. Stop by if you get a chance. Oh, you might be at a game, right?
I got a double header because of this rain tonight.
Listen, that's right in my neighborhood, but I might be in Montreal. We'll have to wait and see how the schedule pans out. So if I'm not in Montreal, I'll definitely swing by.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
You can always send me a book, Jason.
No, stop it. You can buy one, too.
Take it easy, Jace.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right.